All right, so here we go. This is like take four for today. Having some issues. Wanted to make it feel a little more like home, so 151. There we go. Um, all right, so a couple people asked about the numbers of the HHI Krugman versus what they were finding out there. All right, so normally I would say trust in Krugman and Wells, which is where they said that if your HHI is less than 1,000, it means competitive. It's between 1,000 and 1,800. You're kind of competitive, and if you're greater than 1,800, you're not competitive. And again, normally I would say trust in Krugman and Wells, but then I realize we're going from a textbook that I love, but that is 12 years old. You guys weren't even in kindergarten. My kid wasn't even born. So my second go-to, or my backup, or my clarifying place, is Investopedia usually. Obviously, Mr. Clifford as well. I didn't watch his video on this, so maybe we'll watch that later and see what he says. But I like Investopedia. Investopedia gives it to you pretty straight, gives you nice examples. So anything you want clarification on or reinforcement on, I think that's a good place to check out. So apparently, I guess things have changed over the last 12 years. They're saying if it's below 1,500, it's competitive. If it's between 1,500 and 2,500, it's moderately competitive. And they say if it's from 2,500 or more, they call it highly concentrated. They don't use the term oligopoly per se. They just say highly concentrated, which kind of means that because if you're highly concentrated, you're less competitive, more oligopolish. And obviously, the highest you can go as far as concentration goes is a monopoly. So if you take a monopoly, 100% squared, 100 times 100, 10,000, that's the highest you can go on the HHI. All right, so I hope that clarifies that part. I also want to go a little further with it, though, actually, because they make the point, and I put this question on the reading quiz, and it does say in the text that it's more important the number of firms versus the size of the firm. And I just want to clarify that a little bit because it's not so much the size, it's the market share that's so important. So on Investopedia, what they give you as a great example is if you got 20 firms, right? So 20 firms, one firm accounts for 48.59% of the market, right? So you square that. The other 19 firms all account for 2.71% apiece. Right? So if you square all those, you come up with an HHI of 2,500, which is highly concentrated. Right? But if you also got 20 firms, but in this case, one firm has 35.82% of the market, the other 19 have 3.38 of the market, end up with an HHI of 1,500, which is fairly competitive. All right, so again, I know it says it one way in the book. I think you get the general idea. As I say on the answer key, and I'll say it right now, I do not believe you're going to have anything to worry about this on your AP exam. This would be one or two multiple choice questions, just knowing that as you get a higher HHI, you get less competitive, and as you get a lower one, you get more competitive. That's really all you would need to know, but there's no way you're going to need that on this year's exam because it's all free response. So, but I'm doing this all as I want you guys to get the full experience. So, okay, the other problem or the only other thing I saw with your assignment from the other day, where I don't know if you were not following the video closely enough or not understanding, whatever. These were the biggest mistakes. At first, I'm talking about the duopoly, right? I'm talking about this guy right here from the other day. At first, they split the market. Okay, so some of you guys weren't getting the fact that they split the market. You knew that there was 5,000 that should be sold or produced, right? But you didn't get that they split the market. So originally they split the market. They each sell 2,500, right, for a price of 5 each. And please label your stuff, guys, so I know where you're going wrong, or at least I know that you know what you're talking about, not just copying. So they sell a quantity of 2,500 each, price of 5. That's just how high they can take it up because they have some control. So each of them get a total revenue of 12,500. Right? We're not worried about profit right now because we just want to get at the idea of what duopolies do. So they each get 2,500 sales, $5 a pop, for a total revenue of 12,500. Then a lot of you just said, well, one firm makes more and one firm makes less, or total revenue goes up, but price goes down, or something like that. So here's the way you really want to say it, right? The cheater increases their sales by 1,000, so they sell 1,000, or I'm sorry, 1,000 more, yeah, 3,500. But in the market, that drops the price. Is when you increase. So we're looking through that. Your quantity, you're dropping price, and that's going to drop your price to $4 a unit. So yeah, they sell 1,000 more, but it's at $4 a pop. That actually works out for them because that works out to 14,000 in terms of total revenue, right? So they're up 1,500. The good guy sticks with what he agreed to at 2,500, but now his price is lower, so he ends up with 10,000 as far as total revenue. So he's down 2,500, right? So his loss is greater than the other guy's gain, and the whole market is down somewhere in between at 1,000. Okay, and only other thing before we move on, and this is already getting longer than I wanted it to be. Bertrand, right? We call that Bertrand behavior. We don't call it tit for tat. Tit for tat is really more saved for, well, not saved for, but really goes more with game theory, which we're about to get into. Right? Bertrand is more just like a general oligopoly thing. I'm sorry, tit for tat, or those other terms are more for when we talk about game theory, which is what we're going to get into right now. Okay, hopefully that's all right. Not sideways this time. If you have questions on anything I just did, as always, please text or email. Hey, by the way, the review books that I tried and failed to give out to you guys, I don't know if any of you athletes heard about what an ordeal it was picking up your sports equipment. Good God, I couldn't imagine trying to get the clearance to give you guys these, but in each of these books, there's a code, so you can go online and do pretty much everything. I'll shoot that out to you guys later. Okay, so, game theory. Normally, I would screw around with you guys, or attempt to. You're too smart, really, to screw around with. And I would say something like, oh God, guess what? Before we start class today, we have a major issue. We have this issue because Marcus, or whoever, and Andrew, I picked them because they're most likely cheaters, right? Well, actually, Marcus, Andrew, I'd be really surprised about. Just kidding, guys. They were caught cheating. Oh my God, they were caught cheating. But Grande and Sphentoritis don't have enough to nail them just on what they got. Right? Step back here and make sure we're seeing that okay. All right, well, that's Andrew up top. All right. So, they take Marcus into one room with Grande. They take Andrew into the other room with Sphentoritis. They close the doors and they say, here are your options, right? You could rat out your buddy. Let us know you know what you did was wrong, that you were in on it, and if you do that, or well, let me actually do it this way. You could rat or you could not rat, right? You could keep quiet. I'm not talking. Now, this is called a payoff matrix. I'm not going to give you the whole, normally we would sit here and be like, well, what do you think you do, Andrew? What do you think you would do, Marcus? And, well, I'm a good guy, and we agreed, and blah, blah, blah. We're not going to do that. I'm just going to give you what you need to know. This is called a payoff matrix. So, Grande and Hofstetter would tell you your payoffs, right? So they would say, look, Marcus, if you rat out Andrew, right, and he doesn't say anything, he's not talking either, what are we going to do for you? Well, hey, man, you were the good guy. You said the truth. You did what was right. He kept his mouth shut. You get an A. Okay? So when you see it in this way, which you could, the lower side of each smaller square is whoever's on the left, whoever's on the side. Okay? If they give it to you number side by side, whichever the first number is, will be the person or firm or whatever, the entity on the left. Okay? And they say, look, if we do that, we know you did the right thing, you get the A, we're going to kick him out of school, man. He gets expelled. See you, man. Adios. Sayonara. Right? However, if you rat him out and he just rats you out, you both point the finger at each other, we don't got enough for either of you to get expelled, but you both dirtbags, you both get Fs. Right? Same thing works the opposite way, right? If you keep your mouth shut and Andrew points a finger at you, well, he's the good guy, he gets the A, and you're out of here, Marcus. See you later. If you both keep your mouth shut and nobody says anything, like I said, we really don't have enough evidence to get either of you guys, so you're just going to both walk away with C's. Right? Maybe I should use those 10th grade cheaters as an example. Ha! I get the 10th graders. Anyway, okay, so here's what we need to know as far as the AP exam. Because I'm telling you, man, you got a real good chance of getting one of these, and I think it's an easy one once you understand what's going on. Okay? So, yes, again, if we had a discussion, we might sit there and be like, well, maybe Marcus and Andrew made some kind of blood pact oath, swore on each other's parents' graves that they're never going to speak, and I know there's no way my good buddy Andrew, we've been through so much together, he's never going to rat on me, so I'm not going to talk. Not the likely outcome in real life, right? But that is what we call the cooperative outcome. Why is that the cooperative outcome? Because the best situation for both Andrew and Marcus combined are to both take C's, right? They could both do better, right? But the best situation for both of them overall is to both keep their mouth shut, take the C's, walk away, go home, and live to cheat another day, okay? I could still get into Stanford with a C, probably not if I'm expelled, right? Next, we want to talk about the dominant strategy, okay? So each player usually has dominant strategy. Not always, though. Actually, not always. Which could happen, all right? Usually there's a dominant strategy, though. So here's the way I want you to think about it. And I've actually... not sure if I got this from somewhere or not, to be honest with you. This might just be something, maybe it's actually something I came up with, but whatever. So the way I try to tell you guys to do it is pull it apart from your perspective, okay? So whoever's on this side, the firm, the person, the nation, sometimes they'll give it to you in terms of like using nuclear weapons and whatever. Sometimes they'll give you negative things, bad grades, years in prison. Sometimes they'll give it to you in positive things and say revenue or whatever. But whoever's on the left side, act like you're pulling these things apart, right? Act like you're pulling it apart, and then you can worry about the columns one at a time. And then you go, all right, so I'm Marcus. So I'm only worried about this column versus this column, right? So let's just worry about this column. If I know Andrew rats, what do I want? Do I want the F or do I want to get expelled? Take the F, man, right? Sucks, but it's better than get kicked out of school. Can't go to Stanford no more. If he does, if he's not talking, if he keeps his mouth shut, what's better for me? Now, I'm just looking at this column. Do I want the A or do I want the C? Duh, I want the A, all right? So in both situations, his dominant strategy for Marcus is to rat, all right? Either I get an F, or I get expelled, I want to get an F, or I get an A or I get a C, I want to get an A. So his dominant strategy is to rat, all right? Flip on him. Andrew did it, it's all him. I'll either get an F or I'll get an A, better than getting expelled, a little better than getting a C. Okay? Now, we take it from the person on top's perspective. Them, I want you to think about pulling it up. They're on top, pull it up, pull these boxes apart, and now they're just looking at these options. Okay? So for Andrew, if Marcus rats, do I want the F or do I want to be expelled? Give me the F. If he doesn't talk, do I want the C or do I want the A? Give me the A, man. So again, we have his dominant strategy being that he should rat him out. Marcus did it. He's been faking all his life, blah, 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 whatever. Right? So what we have here is called a double dominant strategy because both dominant strategies fall in the same place. That's called the Nash equilibrium. Okay? Another thing about a Nash equilibrium, the way you can tell it's a Nash equilibrium, and this goes to John Nash, Russell Crowe, great actor, kind of a depressing movie, but an interesting movie, won an Oscar. One of your extra credit questions from a while ago, A Beautiful Mind, 2000, I'm not sure. But anyway, another way you can test for this, if they ask you for a Nash equilibrium, that's what this is called. He won the Nobel Prize in 1994 for figuring this out. Game theory's been around a while. Say this slow, this is a little confusing. Assuming the other person is locked in, so from Marcus's perspective, assuming Andrew's definitely going to rat, can I make myself any better? And you want to go through that for each section. If you can't make yourself any better, and neither can the other guy, assuming the other person's locked in, you have a Nash equilibrium. Pause it, rewind it. That sounds a little confusing at first listen. Listen a few times, and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to explain why or show you here. Okay? Remember that, where did I write this down? Oh, here it is. Whoever's on top, your options are side to side. Right? Because on top, you can either rat or not talk. If you're on the side, your options are up or down. That'll help you with this part. Because again, I think this is very doable. I just think it's very easy to go too quickly. Okay? So, usually I would say start, when they ask you for Nash equilibrium, check every box. So you're going to have time. So make sure there's not two, because I've never seen it on a AP, but there are examples out there on the web somewhere where there's more than one Nash equilibrium. So always check them all, just to be safe, and because you're going to have time. This would not be one of your longer free response questions. It would be one of the shorter ones, and you're only going to get two this year anyway. So normally I would start here and say work around. This time I'm going to start here and work around, because I know that's the answer, and you guys will hopefully know that too. So again, you want to start by saying, can this person make themselves any better, assuming the other person's definitely doing this. Okay? It's all about interdependency. It's what oligopoly is all about. As soon as you can figure out that one person can do better, assuming the other person's locked in, forget that box. It's not your Nash equilibrium. Okay? So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to say, I'm being Andrew, and I know that Marcus is going to rat. If I know that Marcus is going to rat, right? I'm the guy on top, so I go side to side. Can I make myself better? Yep, I can. Because getting an F is better than being expelled. Not my Nash equilibrium. So I come down to this box. I'm going to stick with being Andrew. If I know that Marcus is not talking, I have a C. What's my option? I'm on top, so I can go side to side, right? Can I make myself better? Yeah, man. A's a lot better than a C. Can't be my Nash equilibrium. Come over here. I'm going to stick with Andrew. I'm Andrew, right? I'm not talking. Can I make myself any... I'm sorry, Marcus is not talking. I go side to side since I'm on top. Can I make myself better? No. I had an A, now I'm going to get a C. So now I go to Marcus. Now I have to assume that Andrew's locked in, right? If Andrew's locked in, I'm on the side, I go top to bottom. Can I make myself any better? Yeah, I can. I can get an F instead of being expelled. So that's not my Nash equilibrium. If I'm up here, am I still okay? Yeah. Whoever you want to pick. So I'll start with Andrew, all right? Assuming Marcus is definitely ratting, right? I'm on top, so I go side to side. Can I make myself any better? No, I'm only going to get worse here. Right? Now I'm Marcus, assuming he's definitely going to rat. Can I get myself any better? No, I can just get myself expelled. So that's why this is my double dominant Nash equilibrium. Right? As a team or as a industry or as a market, we'd be better off here, but we can't trust each other. We have no binding agreement. We have no blood oath. All right? So that would be better for everybody, but we're going to end up here. Okay? Unless people know how to play the game, and then somebody's getting an A and somebody's getting expelled. Or somebody takes a chance and says, I think Marcus is a sucker. I think he's going to keep his mouth shut because he thinks I am, but I'm not going to. I'm going to rat him out. All right, so that's game theory. And it's actually kind of cool. It's one of the more fun things of this whole year, really. We're going to miss... There's one cool thing. Whatever, not cool, but one interesting thing that I think you guys would really enjoy that we're not going to get to do unless we're together. I just don't think it'll work. But there's another thing, actually, that normally kids find pretty cool, and I think I got a way that we can do it while our distance learning is going on. We'll do that a little later in the week, after you guys get a little bit of a better feel for this. So I'm going to do like Mr. Clifford. I'm going to give you a question, or a couple of questions, ask you to do them. Give you the answers and the explanations, and then I forgot to hit start. I'm sure this is very long already. 21 minutes. Okay. I was hoping for 10. Give you the answers, assign you your next thing, which don't worry, won't be due till tomorrow. And then that's it. Then I'll go type up the rest of your answer key to the last thing. Got to grade your most recent one, and take it from there. Okay, so this is Johnny Appleseed. Sounds a little silly, but whatever. And this is just apple growers. I should have come up with my own names. I'm just stealing this from somewhere. Doesn't matter. Two things. So in this case, it's not to rat or not to rat. It's about advertising. Do we advertise? Do we not advertise? And again, I apologize. I should have thought of better scenarios here, because these to me make no sense about the payouts based on advertising and not advertising, but who cares? Doesn't matter. They could say dropping nuclear bombs, years in prison. It's all the same thing. Okay, so we're going to say if Appleseed, or whatever, the apple, let's give it a different name. Let's give it Granny Smith. That'll just make it a little easier. Like Granny. Alright, so if Granny Appleseed, Granny Smith advertises, and Johnny also advertises, here's your payout. 500, 700. Okay, Granny advertises, Johnny doesn't. You get 440 and 710. That's also my best friend's birthday, 710. Okay, Granny does not advertise. They get 550. And Johnny gets 600. And if Granny does not advertise, and neither does Johnny Apple, then they get 580 for Granny. What big teeth you have, haha. And they'll get, it's my birthday, 610. Alright, so, and I didn't even come up with these numbers, isn't that funny? Alright, so here's what I want you to do. Talk to all that. Okay, so if the two companies can collude and decide to maximize their joint profits, what combination of strategies would be the best option? So what's the best option for the market overall is the first question. Look at the answers. What is Apple Growers, which we've changed to Granny Smith? What is their dominant strategy? What is Johnny Appleseed's dominant strategy? And is there, because it's not always, but is there a Nash equilibrium? And if there is, where is it? Pause it, or just listen to me prance around the kitchen and figure it out. Okay, that should have been long enough for a pause. And let's do it. All right, so the first question was, now this one should be pretty easy. Just add up the numbers. Now it's obvious that Johnny Appleseed is just a better grower or producer or whatever. They're making more no matter what. All right, so they're always coming out on top. But what's better for the whole market? Okay, how do I do this easier? Oh, here, I got my bigger numbers. What's better for the whole market? Well, if they're here, the whole market is making 1,150. If they're here, they're making 1,190. A little better. If they're here, they're making 1,150 again. But here's your answer, right? The best thing for the whole industry would be the 1,200. Okay, so as a market, they'd be better off there. That's the best thing for everything. If they could go wink, wink, nod, nod, you make this, I'll make that, or I'll advertise, you advertise. Which again, I think is a little bit of a silly situation. I don't know how you make more when you don't advertise, but whatever. I'm stealing this stuff like I steal everything. The next thing they wanted, or I wanted, apple growers, we changed to Granny Smith, their dominant strategy. So again, pull it apart. Make it like there's two different columns, and then just look at it one by one. 500 or 550? What do I want? I want 550. Do I want 450 or do I want 580? I want 580. So in both cases, no matter what the other guy does, advertise, not advertise, I want to not advertise. I'm guessing what he's going to do, and either way, I'm better off here. Right? Now for Johnny, sweep the leg, Johnny. What movie? Anybody? Oh, by the way, the answer to the last extra credit question was Will Smith. That's for you, Justin. And somebody else does that too, maybe Ryan. Okay, now pull it up. On top, pull it up. Pull them apart. Okay? Now I'm just looking at these numbers. He advertises. Do I want to advertise or not advertise? I want to not advertise. He does not advertise. What do I want to do? Same thing. I want to not advertise. So both of these guys, their dominant strategies to not advertise. So they're both going to not advertise each time, and you're going to end up here each time. That means it's a double dominant strategy. That's your Nash. Whoa. It's your Nash equilibrium. Something like that. That's your Nash equilibrium. Let's test it. Okay, so now again, I know it's this, so I'm going to start here and work my way around. Sometimes they're not going to give you anything and just say, what's the Nash equilibrium? So pick a spot, keep trying until you find a place where, assuming the other person's locked in, you can't make yourself any better. Right? So let's do this. I'm Johnny Appleseed, right? Assuming that Granny is definitely advertising, right? Can I make myself any better? Yes, I can. That's easy. That's out. I meant to start down here, sorry. Let's go again. I'm Johnny Appleseed. I'm Johnny Appleseed, assuming that Granny is not advertising, right? I'm on top, so I go right to left. Can I make myself better? Yes, I can. 610 is better than 600, so that's out. Now I'm up here. Let's stay with, I guess we'll stay with, wait a second. That should have called me. Could have made yourself better. So that's not equal. That's not why it's there. Assuming there, I can go and make myself better. So now I have to go for Granny Smith. If I know that they're advertising, could I make, here it is. Can I make myself better? Yes, I can. Oh, they can both make themselves better. All right. Yeah, so that's totally up. Let's come down here. Assuming that Granny Smith is not advertising and I'm Johnny Appleseed, can I make myself better? Yes. I'm out. Again, as soon as you can figure out that you can make yourself better, it's out. All right, so that's out. Up here. Let's stick with Johnny Appleseed. All right, if I'm here, I'm assuming that they are definitely advertising. Can I make myself better? No. Okay, so maybe this is National Equilibrium. It's not. So now if I'm Granny Smith, right, and I know that they're not advertising, can I make myself better? Yes, I can. So that's out. So boom, boom, boom. Hopefully, this is going to be my Nash. Damn well better be. So we'll come back to Johnny Apple. If Johnny Apple's at 6'10", right, and he knows that Granny Smith is locked in, right, can he make himself better? No. Now we do Granny, right? Granny goes up and down because it's on the side. So assuming that Johnny's going to not advertise, can I make myself better? No, I can't. So that's why that's a Nash equilibrium. All right. Hopefully you got that, and hopefully my video is turned the right way. I'm going to put up a little later the explanation, the write-up to everything I did at the start of the video. I'll also put up the code for these books so you can get on there. And then I want you to do 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, 7, 8, 9 from the textbook is all matrix game theory questions. All right, so and then there's some that get a little bit more complicated as far as tit for tat and whether you're going to play the game once or play the game 10 times or whatever. So I'll make those do like tomorrow at 3. That'll be like the work for tomorrow. But I want to see what you can do with it, what you know about it, if I need to do another one of these videos or whatever. Also, you know, just like always, guys, let me know if you think I need to be doing more, giving you more old free response questions. Slow down on the videos, forget the videos, just give you links to Mr. Clifford videos. More detailed explanations on the answer keys, whatever. You guys let me know. What are we at? All right, 32. I think that's one of the shorter ones. I think that's it, man. Stay healthy. I know I've heard from a couple people that have had family members come down with the COVID. So please stay healthy, be smart. Let's get through this, and I'll talk to you guys soon. See you later.